Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today we're going to talk about other kind of connectors. In our previous lecture, we've talked about certain type of connectors which were called coordinate connectors. Coordinate connectors, what are the coordinate connectors? They are and, but, so, or, and what, and yet. And I told you that I made an abbreviation and called it abusi. A for and, B for but, O for or, S for so, Y for yet. These, I told you that these coordinate connectors, they come only in the middle of a sentence and they are preceded by a comma. Today we are going to talk about another type of connectors which are called adverb time and cause connectors. Okay, these um, sentences with the adverb clauses have two basic patterns in English. Let's look at these two sentences. Okay, the first one, I will sign the check before you leave. I will sign the check before you leave. And before you leave, I will sign the check. Here, where is the subject here in the first sentence? The subject is I and the verb is will sign, subject and verb. And there is another subject and another verb, you leave. Then we have two clauses. Then we have two clauses. The first clause, is, this is the subject and this is the verb, and here a subject and here is a verb. This is the first clause, clause number one, and here is clause number two. Okay, then I have two clauses. When I have two clauses, I have to connect them by using a connector. What is the type of connector that I need? As I told you from the heading here, I'm going to talk about adverb time and cause connectors. Then these connectors are related to time and cause. Here, where is the connector that connects the first clause with the second clause? It is here. It is here. Before. Before is the time connector. Before, after, as soon as, until. All these are called adverb time connectors. قبل, بعد, حالما, حينما, etc. All these are called adverb time connectors. They come in the middle. They come in the middle, but if they come in the middle, they are not preceded by a comma. ما أبدا بيجيش قبلهم فاصلة. Do they come at the beginning of a sentence? Yes. They can come at the beginning of a sentence and they are followed by the first clause. Then this clause with a connector, I can put it here at the beginning of a sentence and it becomes before you leave, comma, I will sign the check. You subject, leave the verb, comma, I subject, will sign is the verb. Here two clauses. And where is the connector? The connector is here at the beginning. It connects between the first clause and the second clause. And after the first clause, we have a comma. Okay. Then, in each of the examples, there are two clauses. You leave and will sign the check. These are the two clauses. And the clause you leave is an adverb time clause because it is introduced with connector before. In the first example, before comes in the first example, before comes in the middle of the sentence, and no comma, okay, is used. In the second example here, okay, the connector is before here at the beginning, comes at the beginning of the sentence. In this pattern, when the connector comes in at the beginning of the sentence, there should be a comma here after. A comma is required after the first clause. or in the middle. Okay, so let's now look at this example. Okay, let's see this example. Okay, this example. Okay, was late, I missed the appointment. Let me analyze this sentence. خليني أحللها. بقول I is the subject, missed is the verb. Okay, was is the verb, and here there is a comma. Then every verb needs a subject. Then this verb needs a subject here. Another thing, subject verb, this is clause number one. Clause number one, clause number one, and this is clause number two, subject and verb. If there are two clauses, okay, clause number one and clause number two. If there are two clauses, I need a connector here. I need a connector. So, okay, I look at the multiple choices here and see which one of these has a subject and a connector. Okay? Then let me say it again. In this example, you should recognize easily that there is a verb, which is was here, that needs a subject, and this verb needs a subject. There is also another clause here, I missed the appointment. I missed. If you choose the answer A here, okay, or the answer C here, the train, you will have a subject for the verb was, but you will not have a connector to join the first clause with the second clause. Because you need a connector to join two clauses, clause number one, clause and number two, A and C are wrong. Okay? Answer B here is incorrect also. Why? Because here there is no subject for the verb was. يعني هون اجت connector بدون ما يكون في عندي فاعل للفعل was. Answer D is the best answer. Why? Because there is a subject here, a subject, and there is طبعا هاي subject for the verb was, and there is a connector اللي هي sense that connects between the first and the second clause. I hope that is clear. Now, if I look at the these, okay, these connectors, let me let's read them together. Adverb time and cause connectors. Here those are, or these are the adverb time connectors. يعني أدوات الربط الظرفية المتعلقة بالزمان. And here there are adverb cause connectors. يعني أدوات الربط الظرفية المتعلقة بالسبب. What are the adverb time connectors? They are after, قبل, as, حالما, as long as soon as, before, by the time, once, since, when, whenever, while. All these are connectors. They are called adverb time connectors. And these are as, because, as, in as much as. This is a word, not three parts. This is just one part. Now that, since. These are called adverb cause connectors. Let's look at these examples. Teresa went inside. Teresa is the subject, went is the verb, because it was raining. It is the subject, was raining is the verb. Subject, verb, then here first clause, and here the second clause. Because I have more than one subject and more one verb, or because I have more than one clause, though, I need a connector that connects the first clause with the second clause. Here the connector is because تريسا went inside. دخلت تريسا إلى الداخل بسبب هطول المطر. Okay, Then this connector, the adverb connector, connected between the first and the second clause. Here it came, the connector came in the middle, and it is not preceded by a comma. But if the connector and the clause come at the beginning, the first clause or the clause should be followed by a comma. Why? Because the connector comes here in the at the beginning. I say, because it was raining, comma, Teresa went inside. Everything is clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay. Now
Yes.
let's see
Yes, of
these
course.
sentences. Thank you very much. Let's see these sentences if they are correct or incorrect. Let me do the first two, and I will give you time to do the rest of them. The first one, since the bank closes in less than 1 hour. Let me, okay. The bank is the subject, closes is the verb. Since the bank closes in less than 1 hour, comma, the deposits, okay, this is the subject, need, this is the verb. Then I have subject, verb. And here in the middle, there is a comma. So there, I need a connector that comes at the beginning because the comma is in the middle. So I say, since the bank closes in less than 1 hour, deposits needs to be tailed. Okay. Is this wrong or right? Yes, it is correct. Tamam. The second one, their backgrounds, this is the subject, okay, are thoroughly investigated, this is the verb, before are admitted. Here is the verb, but where is the subject?
Comma.
Aywa, I need here a subject. Subject, verb. And here in the middle comes here the connector. So here I need a subject. Then here a missing subject. There is a missing subject. Then this is incorrect. Okay, I will give you now 5 minutes to think about them, and we will do them together. Okay, and I will stop the recording. Let's now, after we've finished the exercise 7, let's start with another skill, which is use other adverb connectors correctly. Adverb clauses can express the idea of time and cause, as I've said before, right? Okay, as you saw in skill 7, the adverb clauses can also express a number of other ideas. Okay, خليني بس okay. As I've said, adverb clauses can also express a number of other ideas, such as contrast, condition, manner, and place. Because these clauses are adverb clauses, they have the same structure as the time and clause that I've talked about in skill 7. So let's look at these two examples. I will leave at 7 if I'm ready. Although I was late, I managed to catch the train. Before that, let me see what are the other adverb connectors that I'm talking about, that they have the same structure as the time and cause connector here. The adverb connectors, other adverb connectors rather than time and cause, they are adverb connectors that are related to condition, or they have the function as condition short. If, in case, provided, providing, unless, whether. These are called adverb connectors, okay, conditional adverb connectors. These are the contrast adverb connectors. They are although, even though, while, and whereas. And there are here manner connectors as in that. And other connectors and last connectors, adverb connectors, they are called the place adverb connectors. They are where and wherever. They have the
Baba.
same structure. They have the same
Sama.
here. These connectors, they come in the middle and they come at the beginning of a sentence. They have the same structure as the time and cause connector. For example, if I look at this example, Bob went to school even though he felt sick. Bob is the subject, went is the verb. He is the subject and felt is the verb. Then I have clause number 1 and clause number 2, and there is a connector in the middle. Here, we do not need a comma. This this connector is called adverb connector, اللي هي contrast adverb connector. Let's look at the beginning. Here it comes in the middle, but does it come at the beginning? I say yes. If it comes in at the beginning, I have to follow the first clause with a comma. Like when I say, even though Bob felt sick, comma, he went to school. Then subject, verb, and the connector at the beginning, and the first clause is followed by a comma. If we look at these two examples, go back and look at these two examples. I will leave at 7 if I'm ready. Although I was late, I managed to catch the train. In each of these examples, there are two clauses. This is clause number 1 and this is clause number 2. This is clause number 1 and this is clause number 2. In each of these examples, there are two clauses that are correctly joined with the adverb connector. Here, the adverb connector is F, and although is the adverb connector here. In the first sentence, the adverb condition connector F here comes in the middle of the sentence. In the second sentence, okay, the adverb contrast connector, although comes at the beginning of a sentence, and after the first clause, it is followed by a comma. Comma is used in the middle of a sentence. If we look at this example, okay, you will get a grade on the exam provided. This is, let's see, and let's analyze this sentence and see if it needs anything or something missing in this sentence. Let's see, you is the subject. You will get a good grade on the exam provided. You is the subject, will get is the verb, and provided is the adverb connector, the conditional adverb connector. Then here after the connector, I need a subject and a verb. Then I go to the multiple choice here and see which one of these has a subject and a verb. Okay. This connector, as it comes in the middle, as I said, because it is a connector, it must be followed by a subject and a verb. And as I said, where is the subject and the verb here? Studying is a verb. It does not have a subject. Study is a verb. To study is to infinitive, so a verb. But so the right answer is D, which contains a subject, you, and a verb, he study. Now let's look at these sentences and see if they are wrong or right, correct or incorrect. Let's answer this exercise. Okay, yeah, this exercise. The first, I'm going to do the first one, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do the others. The first one, let me first, okay, yeah. It is impossible to enter that program if you lack experience as a teacher. Okay, I say it is the subject, is the verb, you is the subject, lack is the verb, and the connector is in the middle. This is a correct sentence, because here this is clause number 1 and clause number 2, and there is a connector that connects these two clauses and not followed by a comma. The second one, The commandant, this is the subject. The commandant left strict orders about the passes. Several soldiers left the post anyway. The commandant, this is the subject. Left is the verb. Strict order, etc. Comma. Then here a comma. Okay. Several soldiers. This is the subject. Left the post, this is the verb. Then subject verb, and there is a comma here. Then here at the beginning there is what? There is a missing what? A missing connector. A missing connector. Okay, I have to say, though or although the commandant left strict orders about the passes, several soldiers left the post. Okay, let's now do the other. I'll give you 5 minutes or 2 minutes in order to do them. Let me pause the recording first. Now, after we finished the previous exercise, let's now move to sentences with multiple clauses also. But now we're going to talk about noun clauses, connectors. Now, we have to know what are the noun clause connectors. The noun clause connectors, they are what, when, where, why, how, wherever, whenever, whether, if, and that. These are called noun clause connectors. Where do they come in a sentence? They come in the middle and they come at the beginning of a sentence. But if they come in the middle of the sentence, their function differs from when they come at the beginning of a sentence. For example, if I look at these 3 examples, okay, I know when he will arrive. In the first example here, I know when he will arrive. In this first example, there are 2 clauses. The first clause is I know. The second clause here, he will arrive. Okay. These 2 clauses are joined with a connector. What is the connector? It is when. When changes the clause, he will arrive. When changes the clause, when he will arrive, okay, into a noun clause that functions as the object, مفعول به, the object, okay, of the verb know. يعني مفعول به للفعل know. إذا هون كل الكلوز مع أداة الربط لعبت دور المفعول به للفعل know، لأنه فعل فاعل مفعول به. إذا الأداة الربط مع كل الكلوز لعبت لي دور المفعول به للفعل know. إذا here the noun clause as object of the verb. Now, if we look at the second example, in the second example, the 2 clauses are شو هن؟ I'm concerned, this is the subject and verb, about اللي هي حرف الجر, when he will arrive, when أداة الربط اللي هي the connector, he will arrive subject and verb. إذا when اجت هون it connects between the first clause and the second clause. هي اول فانكشن لها. طب الفانكشن الثاني لها شو هو؟ when here changes the clause he will arrive into a noun clause that functions as object of a proposition. يعني هي اجت هي الجمله الاسم المجرور بحرف الجر about. اذا اجت تلعب لي دور الاوبجكت اوف proposition، هي والكلوز تاعها تلعب دور المفعول الاسم المجرور بحرف الجر about. If we look at the third example, okay, in this third example, this example is more difficult somehow. In this example, there are 2 clauses, but they are a little harder to recognize. He will arrive is one. He will arrive, okay, is one of the clauses, and the connector when it comes at the beginning here, okay, changes this connector changes it into a noun clause that functions as the subject for the verb is. Okay, the other clause has the noun clause when he will arrive as its subject and is as its verb. يعني كلها بيجي السبجكت والفعل تاعها اللي هو is. يعني هذه كأنها مبتدأ أو فاعل للفعل is. Okay, now if you look at this example, okay, was late caused many problems. بقول in this example there are two verbs. شو ال two verbs اللي was و caused. بقول and each of these verbs needs a subject. اوكي كل واحد فيهم هذا بحاجة إلى فاعل. اوكي إذا هون was needs a subject. If I put here a subject, okay, is the sentence correct? No. Here subject and verb, and here is another verb. So here I need a connector that with the first clause plays the role of the noun for the verb or the subject for the verb caused. So here I have to search for a connector and a subject. So I look here at the multiple choice because this is a connector. It's not. It does not have a subject. There it is not a connector. The driver is a subject without a connector. And that he, this is a connector and a subject, and so A is the right answer. If we look also at the other sentences here, see if they are correct or incorrect. Let's look here. I will answer the first two. When the season starts, okay. Okay. When the season starts is determined by the weather. بس بقول انه هون هاي أداة الربط، أداة ربط مالها اسمية زي ما حكيت. بيدخلوا على الجملة الاسمية أو بيلعبوا لي هم دور الاسم المجرور أو المفعول به أو بيلعبوا لي دور الفاعل مع الكلوز تاعهم. إذا بقول is determined, this is a verb. The season starts, this is subject and this is a verb. وكل هاي the first clause with the connector plays the as the subject for the verb is determined. Then this is correct. The second question, the manual how the device should be built. The manual here is the subject. Okay, how is the connector? The device is the verb, the subject, sorry, and should be built is the verb. Then I have subject, verb, and أداة ربط and connector اللي هي noun clause connector. Here there is a subject, but here there is something missing. What is it? It is the verb. Isn't here? It is incorrect because there is a missing verb. Now, I'll give you 5 minutes in order to answer the rest of the exercise. Okay, I will stop or pause the recording. Now I'm going to discuss skill number 10, which is use noun clause connector as subject correctly. Now, in this skill, okay, we have noun connectors, noun clause connectors. What are these noun clause connectors? I have to know them by heart. These noun connectors, noun clause connectors, they are who, whoever, what, whatever, which, whichever. هدول فقط لا غير. These connectors, they are called noun clause connectors that they play the role of subject of the verb. يعني بيلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل. اوكي بس هدول الستة غيرهم لا. Only these. Now, when I use them in a noun clause, let me open it here. Okay. بقول in some cases a noun clause connector is not just a connector. هاي هون مثلا احنا عرفنا انه اداه الربط هي تلعب دور الرابط، تربط ما بين الكلوز الاول والكلوز الثاني، ولكن الناون كلوز connector it does not only play the role of connector. يعني هو ما بتلعب فقط دور الفاعل او دور سوري دور الرابط التي تربط الكلوز الاول بالكلوز الثاني، لا، في إلها وظيفه ثانيه. ممكن إنها تكون noun clause connector can also be subject of the clause at the same time. ممكن تكون هي الفاعل للفعل. اوكي مثلا على سبيل المثال for example when I say I don't know what is in the box، بقول I subject don't know it is the verb. What is in the box here? What بتلعب لي دور الكونكتور. Here it connects between this clause and the second clause. But here what it plays the role of the subject for the verb is. شايفينها بتلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل is. كمان كلها هاي what is in the box كلها بتلعب لي دور المفعول به the object of the verb know. تمام. اذا هون كانت عندي لها it has three functions لها ثلاثه وظائف. تلعب لي دور الكونكتور اول شيء تربط ما بين التو كلوزز، وثانيا تلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل الذي يليها، وكلها هي والكلوز تاعتها the connector with the clause that is connected to كلها بتلعب لي it has the role of the object of the verb تلعب دور المفعول به. مثال ثاني when I say we are concerned about who will do the work بقول we are subject and verb. Okay, we are concerned. We subject and are concerned اللي هي الفعل. About حرف جر. Okay. إذا ما يليها من أداة ربط زائد فعل زائد whatever كلها بيلعب دور الإيش؟ الأوبجكت of the preposition about اللي هي الاسم المجرور بحرف الجر about. هاي أول شيء. ثاني إشي أداة الربط هي هو أجت ربطت لي ما بين الكلوز الأول والكلوز الثاني. ثالث شيء إنه هو لا do the work إنه أجت لي هو تلعب دور it plays the role of the subject for the verb will do تلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل will do. تمام؟ اوكي. طب whoever is coming to the party must bring a gift. اوكي must bring a gift must اللي هي الفعل. طب الفعل يحتاج الى فاعل. اوكي اذا بقول كل اللي قبلها مع اداه الربط اللي whoever is coming to the party هاي كلها all this clause بتلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل must. طيب كمان ايش الرول اللي بتلعبه؟ whoever كمان بتلعب لي دور الفاعل للفعل is coming. وكمان كل هاي الكلوز تلعب دور الفاعل للفعل must be وبتلعب لي دور الكونكتور. تمام. اذا here كمان مره بدي احكيها. in the first example there are two clauses هون. there are two clauses. I do not know and what in the box. إذا هاي الكلوز الأول هاي الكلوز الثاني. بقول these two clauses are joined by the connector what. هيهم هدول الكلوز two clauses they are connected by the connector what. It is important to understand that in this sentence the word what serves two functions. إلها دورين. It is both the subject of the verb is and the connector for the first and the second for the first and the second clause, and it is the connector that joins the two and it plays the object for the verb know. Okay, object for the the verb know. If we look at the second example, there are two clauses too. We are concerned who will do. This is the second clause. Where is the connector? Who is the connector? Okay. Here there is a preposition حرف جر. Here who will do the work. Here all this clause with the connector plays the role of the object of the preposition. يلعب دور شبه الجملة اسم المجرور بحرف الجر اللي هي noun clause as object of a preposition. Hi, this is the first function. The second function, it plays the role of as a connector. And the third function, اللي هي the subject for the verb will do. Okay, if we look at the third example, there are two clauses also. Whoever is coming and must bring. Okay. Whoever is the subject of the verb. Whoever is the subject of the verb is coming. And noun clause whoever is coming to the party is كلها is the subject for the verb must bring. The word whoever here also serves two functions in the sentence. It is the subject of the verb here. Subject of the verb is coming and it is the connector وهي الرابط. The connector that joins the two clauses اللي بتربط لي ما بين الكلوز الأول والكلوز الثاني. If we look at this example, okay, was on TV made me angry. Here, how many verbs do we have here? Was is a verb and made is a verb. Okay, here I need, here we don't have here. If I look at this sentence, I need a subject and a connector, but here in the multiple choice we do not have subject and connector. Then we have to choose a connector that plays the role of a connector and a subject. So I look at these choices, which one fits? Okay, let me explain it another time. In this example, you should notice immediately that there are two verbs, he was and made. Okay, and each of these verbs needs subject. كل واحد فيهم بحاجة إلى subject. Answer A and B are incorrect. Why? Because it and the story cannot be the subject for both was and made at the same time. Answer D is incorrect too. Why? Because when is not a subject. When cannot play the role of a subject. Okay. In answer C here, what serves as both the subject of the verb, هون تلعب لي هون اللي what تلعب لي subject for the verb was, and as a connector that connects the first clause with the second clause, and all the clause with what is the object for the verb made. Then the right answer is what? If we look here another time to this chart, here are the noun clause connectors، يعني أدوات الربط اللي يدخل على الجملة الاسمية ويلعبوا دور الفاعل and they play the role of the subject. What are these connectors? They are who, whoever, what, whatever, which, whichever. For example, when I say, I know what happened. I know, subject verb. Okay. What happened? Here, what happened? What plays the role of the verb, the subject for the verb happened? Here the subject. And all this clause plays the object for the verb know. For another example, what happened was great. Was is the verb. Happened is a verb. This verb needs a subject. Then here, the connector اللي بسميها noun clause connector plays the role of as a subject. Here it is a subject for the verb happened, and the whole clause what happened plays the role of the subject for the verb was. Let me answer this question, this exercise. The first two I'm going to answer them, and the rest we are going to answer them together. بقول the game show contestant was able to respond to whatever was asked. If I let me show you, yeah, the game. Okay, the game show constant. The game show contestant. All these. This is the subject. Okay, was is the verb. Okay, was able to respond to whatever, whatever was asked. Here as another verb, and this whatever, it is the connector. It plays the role of the subject, and it plays the as the connector between the first and the second clause, and the whole clause with the connector plays the object for the verb was able to. Then this is correct. The second one, you should find out what the best physics department. You should find out, you should, subject and verb, okay, which the best physics department, okay, is which, let me see, is which one of these that play the role of a subject? Yes, here, which the best, here, after which here plays the role of a subject. After the subject I need a verb. I have to say you should find out which is the best physics, because after the subject I need a verb. Okay, then this is incorrect. Right. Let's now answer them together. I'm going to stop the recording. We're going to answer the other questions together. يعطيكم العافية. I'll see you next time. السلام عليكم.